It sounds loud.
I mean, the fountain in my lake sounds really loud, but you guys can't hear that. And sometimes I have these low flying planes that fly over, and they are so ungodly loud. And then I'll make a fool of myself and say, "Can you guys hear that plane?" And like, it's not even recognizable at all.
Can't even hear it.
What are you gonna do? But you know what you can hear? Snakes and Stogies, Monday night, 9 p.m.
That's right, and it is Monday.
Yes.
I was running behind, so now I'm trying to figure out what I want to listen to.
Tyson, Lance,
Oh,
Sanchez.
Here we are. Episode 254 of Snakes and Stogies, brought to you by blackboxcages.com. You know the drill. Racks, cages, you need them, they got them. Infinite combinations of customization options between lighting and heating. You know, the mounts, whether it's on the floor, like a toe kick or dollies. You know, heat panels, heat lamps, LEDs, UVs, all the stuff you could possibly need in a ton of different sizes and configurations and whatnot. So please go check them out, blackboxcages.com, and then hop on over to fullbeastapparel.com. Just added the new North Carolina Pygmy shirt.
Oh, yeah.
That was a popular request. So that is up there now, available in 6 colors. One of those colors is black, which the print on that is available in 4 colors. So check it out. Use the code THN at checkout. Get 15% off your order. That is the exclusive promo code for THN listeners and viewers like you. That is the biggest discount you can get, aside from when sales are happening. Everywhere else, they don't get 15%. You just get 15% here if you're listening. So, appreciate it. And then cold-blooded caffeine. Snakes and Stogies blend, Mexico and Rwanda. Small batch, handcrafted, artisanal coffee. That is oh so delicious.
The tastiest.
Use the code SMOKE there to get you a little something. We get a little something. You're helping Trey, McKendrick, and Cold-Blooded Caffeine. They're in turn donating a portion of every sale to the Rainforest Alliance. So it's a win-win-win. Win-win. Win-win-win. So please check them out at coldbloodedcaffeine.com. Our blend, and then there's a ton of other blends, be it other affiliates or house blends. Some really good stuff that you should most definitely be checking out. Truly good coffee. Better than anything you get at the store.
Muy delicioso.
Yeah. That's, you know what that means? You don't. That's because that's Russian.
You're very correct.
It's, man, it's like just cool enough for a hoodie, but I'm hot with my hoodie on, but I know if I take it off, I'll be chilly again.
Don't want to hear it because I know everyone in this country is brisk and or still has snow. I am currently in flip-flops, basketball shorts, and a t-shirt. However, it's 72 degrees outside. It is 84 in the desert room and 80 in my bedroom because the AC's out. So
you're enjoying your night out.
I mean, I'm outside and it's cooler outside than it is in my bedroom. So I will most likely be sleeping downstairs tonight. Such is life until we can get it addressed tomorrow. But yeah, desert room is back up to speed. So
yeah, they wanted it warm, buddy. They got it.
Yeah. And instead of me being able to gradually increase the temperatures like I was planning on doing it, oh no, they got baptism by fire, quite literally. So
my hat is sitting on sideways to make me look like a douchebag.
Because it's the hat.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, I'm sorry that you're in between hoodie weather. I wish I was in hoodie weather. I live for hoodie weather.
So I'm hopefully the winter bullshit is behind us now, because this week it's supposed to be in the like mid to upper 70s. Like as the week progresses, it's going to be in the 80s, I think, this weekend.
Okay.
And it's looking like it's going to stick around. Like we're not going to be, it's not faux spring where we'll get 2 weeks of nice spring weather and then it's going to disappear again and be 40s and 30s again.
Okay.
So I'll take it. That means that herping weather is
Upon us.
So this week we figured we'd talk about sort of our field plans, but also plans in the room.
Yeah.
But what are you smoking this evening?
I am smoking the initial light is just fantastically capital. A Jaime Garcia successor from My Father's Cigars that was gifted to me by the one and only Smitty of the network. And I can't thank you enough. It's fantastic.
That is a very good cigar. Highly recommended.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was the only one at the shop smoking them. There's only a couple, like 1 or 2 left, I think. And
yeah. It draws like a well-made Connecticut, but it does not taste like one or feel like one at all. So
oddly enough, the Jaime Garcia also does come in a Connecticut.
Oh, really?
And it is not good.
Really? Okay.
That blend, dude.
Yeah.
Jaime Garcia cigars. I don't think they could make a light cigar if they tried.
Dude, it's the oils, man.
That blend has absolutely no business being wrapped in a Connecticut wrapper.
No, it does not.
It does not work. It's oil and water, in my opinion. Like cigar nerd time. Like,
yeah,
the filler and binder do not work with a Connecticut wrapper. I tried it multiple times. The regular Jaime that's in like the nice dark Maduro that is oily, depending on the size, like that's a good smoke. Depending on the box, I've had a couple boxes where they were just not it. That successor though is continuously impressed me though.
Reserva Especial.
But yeah, that Jaime Garcia in Connecticut, I'm like, what were y'all thinking when you put this together? Just like that is the absolute opposite of what I want from a Jaime. Is something like, if I'm getting a Jaime, I want something potent. You know, I want something strong. I want something with some chest.
Yeah, it's got some good spice to it. It's burning completely uniform. I mean, damn near uniform. The draw is fantastic. It draws like a cigarette. So now, what are you smoking?
So right now I'm finishing a Alec Bradley chunk. So nice. I know I've talked about these previously. This is my pick for the cigar of the year for Snakes and Stogies for 2025. This is a fantastic smoke. It's, $6.
Yeah.
The Maduro is phenomenal. I think the Connecticut I've had maybe once. I need to kind of revisit it. It was, decent, I guess. But this Maduro, man, this little smoke is where it's at. Like price-wise, quality-wise, burn-wise, I haven't really had any issues. Draw-wise, I haven't really had any issues. Flavor is always on point. Alec Bradley historically has been kind of hit or miss for me as far as the brand itself. But this chunk,
I'll go lines, right?
Good.
When you say hit or miss, you don't mean individual sticks, you mean lines, right?
I mean the brand as a whole. Like,
okay.
Just some of their stuff I'd say probably 70% of the time, most of their stuff just kind of falls short for me.
I've only had a couple of them and I thoroughly enjoyed them. What's the one with the bumblebee on it?
That Magic Toast?
I think it is. That's not flavored.
Moth. No.
It's a moth?
Mm-hmm. That one is like decent. Like the issue I had with those is like it was the first half was great, and then as soon as you get halfway through it, it just kind of takes a turn.
Okay.
And they kind of went downhill.
I vaguely remember that. I remember it being good, but I vaguely remember the 50-50. Not to switch gears on you, but I went to a new cigar shop. So I did. So
I'm finishing this chunk, and then I'm smoking the show stick here in a second. But we'll.
I'm sorry. Let's do the show stick, and then we can segue. My apologies.
So, some words that I never thought I would say.
Oh God.
There's a Dominican Cohiba that's actually decent.
Okay. All right.
Never thought I'd say those words because anytime I see Cohiba, not Cuban Cohibas, there's a very big difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Dominican stuff.
Is it Habano?
I don't think so. I honestly don't know what the blend is.
Okay. I could see it being
It's new.
Habano. Okay.
And like I got it. It's $10.99. So like the price point, I was like, sure, why not? Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
I went into it fully expecting it to be absolute garbage because pretty much any Cuban Cohiba Dominican Cohiba I've had, you're paying for the name. Like they have some expensive ones that are like $30. It's like, I'm not going to try those because I'm probably not going to be impressed with it. Like it's probably not going to do it for me. That $30 I could buy 2 ligas with, that kind of thing. But for $10.99, I was like, let's give it a whirl. It's the Cohiba Rubicon is what it's called. It's a Maduro. I want to. I don't know. I get the feeling that it might be a Mexican San Andreas, maybe.
Okay.
I haven't looked at the blend, so honestly, I couldn't say for sure. But apparently, there's a couple sizes. That's a 6x60. And if you see it and you like darker cigars, I think you should definitely try it because I've been smoking a handful of them over the last week. The price point's good. The quality's good.
Okay.
So admittedly, when I saw a new Cohiba, I was like, okay, new Cohiba, whatever.
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad smoke at all.
Interesting.
Very solid.
The last time I had a non-Cuban Cohiba was at least 10 years ago. And it was like very attractively pressed oak leaves. If you can imagine that. So
at this point, like I used to have people come in and ask for them specifically, and I'm like, really?
Like there's like a stem in there.
It's just, I was like, you're paying for the name wholeheartedly because even their cheaper line stuff, which I would consider that Rubicon to be like their lower end. I've had some of the expensive stuff, and I'm never like, wow, I've got to smoke that again. It's always like, yep, that was a Cohiba, all right. Like, it's just, I don't know, cigar snobbery.
I gotta be honest, the way that you presented that, I thought you were gonna pull a Gurkha or something out.
No.
So
no.
I'll convince you one day that there's good ones.
There are a couple good Gurkhas. Where are they?
Yeah, you smoked them. Those are the only ones. I got to try that. I will try that. So
I'm curious though, because there's 2 other sizes apparently that Raj says he's going to get in, which I have. So I like it in that 660, but I have a feeling that I'm going to try those other sizes, like a Toro or something, and it's not going to be as good. It's just not going to hit. So we'll see. TBD.
Yeah, TBD.
Maybe next week we'll know.
So I will actually do my damnedest to try and find one, and I'll join you in that experiment. So I have a friend of mine from work. His name's Mark, and he's getting into cigars pretty heavily. He's been doing it for a few years now. And then my other very good friend, Michael, he's smoked cigars in the past and stuff, but he's never been a real cigar guy. He's now getting into it too. And conveniently, a new shop opened up in Fort Lauderdale called Cigar Grail. I don't know if they're on Instagram. Check them out. Cigar Grail. It is literally a small time shop. It's 2 brothers. The one brother, Mo, is there every single day running the joint. His name's Mo. He's a good guy, man. He's a stand-up fella. knows his cigars. He's been in the tobacco world for at least 10 years. And just stand-up fella, man. Stand-up fella. I've not met his brother yet, but the shop is been open for 3 months, and it is hands down the best selection of sticks in the Tri-County area, shy of like Neptune, which is like a football field size building.
That's in the league of its own with Cigars International and those massive retailers.
Yeah.
You notice though with cigar lounges that you get one of 2 things in a cigar lounge, but you almost never get
for you
both.
To say this. Okay. I know where you're going. It's great.
You either get a shop that has an amazing selection and like a really trashy lounge, or you get a very nice lounge with a very limited, like underwhelming selection in the humidor. I've
Well,
come to find that you almost never are going to get both. And I prefer the better selection of cigars in the humidor over a nicer lounge. Like, I'll smoke anywhere. I don't care. But it's interesting going into a lot of cigar shops and stuff over the years. I've just noticed it's like you get one or the other, but you are not getting both.
and I will say this: he has been open for, like I said, 3 months. No booze, no food, small selection of soft drinks. And like you said, the lounge is a it's not bad. It's not bad.
Well, yeah, I won't say trash lounge, but like
it
a
is
couple of classic lawn chairs.
no lawn chairs. No, he's got actual nice, comfortable chairs. There's maybe 6 or 7 of them, maybe 3 tables, because the rest of the shop is just the shop itself, the lounge itself is the humidor. And it's incredible. And it's not just one wall. What's that?
People smoking there?
Oh yeah, dude. We filled the place up.
How tall are the ceilings?
Maybe 10, 12 foot.
Okay.
Yeah. And honestly, man, we were puffing, and it was not, we did not hotbox it at all. So whatever ventilation system he's got going on, he mentioned he's got like 2 different ventilation systems and then 2 different hydro, what the hell is it called?
Humidifiers?
I mean, it's a humidifier, but it's like the big industrial strength one.
Yeah.
He's got 2 of those things pumping, and the selection's incredible. And there is not a white wall, if you catch my drift.
Not a certain.
I mean, there's
Geneva
correct. There is not a certain company that hails from Geneva that forces you to buy 14 different trash brands. Yeah. And I asked him, I was like, so hey man, I give you mad props for not having the white wall. And anybody who wants to know what the white wall is, just go to a cigar shop, you'll understand what we're talking about. And he's like, oh no, man. He's like, I refuse to do it. He's like, I got like 4 or 5 boxes, or 4 or 5 different branded ones from Geneva, right? That he buys from another tobacco vendor,
just so people can come in and ask for it.
Correct. Yeah. Because and we were talking about this. You're gonna get that one snooty guy who's gonna come in and go, you don't have
cigars, but he wants Davidoff because it's Davidoff.
Exactly.
I only drive Lamborghinis.
Yeah. How am I supposed to smoke anything else in my Maserati if it doesn't have a white and gold band? Yeah. So he has a handful of those just to appease those guys so they don't leave. But I'm telling you, man, he's got a good start in Drew. He's got a ton of Arturo Fuente. He's getting Roma Craft. It's coming soon. I mean, so just
curious. Next time you go there and he has those, let me know what his prices are, because I'm curious. Because Roma Craft keeps going up every year. I mean, every brand goes up every year, but Roma Craft's been making pretty big leaps in their pricing to the point where Raj just isn't carrying them anymore, because it's just like, A, no one's buying them because it's a boutique brand, and then B, like, you're getting into that Liga territory where it's like once you're in that $15 to $17 range, people are probably going to lean towards Fuentes and like stuff they sure things.
Yeah.
Rather than unknowns, so curious is what he's gonna have him for.
But I'll tell you, man, the guy really, he knows his tobacco, man, and he's a stand-up fella. The place is clean. I mean, it's only been open for a few months, but if you're in the Fort Lauderdale area, definitely check it out. Go on Instagram, give him a like, give him a follow, whatever. Cigar Grail on Instagram. But I'm really excited because of the selection, man. Like, it's diverse selection. There's lines I've never even heard of in there. And my buddy Mark had posted, hey, I'm going to, Cigar Grail for the Drew Estate event. Now, anybody who knows me, I'm a huge Drew Estate fan, right? Liga number 9 is my stick of sticks. I have tried to go to a Liga event the past 10 years plus. I never can. It's always Tuesday at 2, or I got to work late or something. Always. Yeah.
That's weird.
So, and
Raj almost always does them on Fridays or Saturdays.
Yeah. I mean, if it is a Friday or Saturday, like I got plans with my girl, or I got a family thing or something, and you've been gracious enough to give me like a Drew Estate prize pack. I have that purple humidor or purple ashtray that you gave me. Remember, in the tin and everything. You probably don't remember. Anyway, so like, so like I've been going that route. Well, they had this event, and it was from 4 to 7. I got to work at 6. So I texted Michael and Mark. I was like, yo, I'm going to leave from work. I'll meet you guys there. And we went up having a great time. It was buy 5, get 1 free for the entry like thing.
Yeah, you get a raffle and stuff.
Yeah. So the lady was cool. She actually gave me a couple extra tickets. There was one guy in his 60s who I guess bought like 400 sticks. Like he was just that guy. So he won all the raffle prizes.
Yep.
There was only like 6 or 7 of us in the room. That was it. He won all of them. And then, like I said, the owner Mo, he was like, "Oh, let's do a couple more for everyone else that's not him," you know. So Mark and Michael, they got those really cool dual cutting cutters. That's like a hockey puck.
Yeah,
which I thought was super cool. And then
those are new, I think.
Yeah, and then I wound up getting the Dominicana. It looks like a fucking urn. It's basically it's a humidor, but it's a ceramic vase with a gasket lid, and it has the chick's face on it with the spider webs, Dominicana.
Oh yeah.
So I wound up scoring that. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
they're fun, man. If like, especially if you go to a shop and you have like sort of I'll use the term local scene because I don't know of any other way to say it. But
yeah.
It's a good time, especially if you're a regular at your shop and you see a lot of the same guys on a regular basis. Like you're pretty much just hanging out with them at these events and stuff. And like they may say that it's from 4 to 7 or whatever, but it's the events here almost always technically end at 9, but it's like no, we're all hanging out there until 11 o'clock, midnight, whatever. Like the rep's still there hanging out. It's
for sure.
Drew Estate especially, like they're very lax with a lot of their stuff, but they know that like any Drew Estate event, like it's not gonna be a flop.
No, not at all.
They've got so much stuff. Like people see that they can get deals on acids and stuff. It's Drew Estate events are always the biggest events of the year. Anytime we do them here, which we do a couple a year, but
nice.
It's always a good time. And our rep is really cool too. I'm friends with him on Facebook and stuff, and he's a cool dude. It's nice to see him periodically.
Yeah, this was a lady who has been in the cigar world for 30 plus years, and she's been a Drew rep for I guess 10 or something to that extent. I feel horrible. I forgot her name. But she was super knowledgeable. And I wound up getting, they let me buy a few H99 flying feral pig hybrid.
Nice.
Now, I will say that I waited a long time to get a normal H99 in a Toro. I got it. I smoked it. I was very impressed, very underwhelmed. And Smitty warned me. He did. God bless.
It's a good smoke. Drew Estate hyped it up for like 5+ years, making people think that it's going to be like the best thing to happen to Liga ever.
Yeah.
And then it comes out because they had hyped it up so much before releasing it.
Yep.
Because it got, I think, backlogged and backburnered multiple times because of production issues or something. But by the time it came out, everyone was like super excited. And then we got it. Was like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's a good smoke. I like them.
Well, I'll say I didn't care for it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It wasn't bad by any means to Liga, for Christ's sake, but it was not the hype I was expecting. So what did I do? I wound up finding another one at a different shop months later, and I tried it again. And I felt the same fucking way. So this time I was like, all right, you know what? This is the Feral Flying Hybrid. It's limited edition. It's only at the Drew Estate events. I might as well buy a few of them while I'm here, even if they're crappy. Man, they knocked it out of the park with that one.
Did they? I'm just not a fan of the flying pig stuff. I just don't like that. I don't like that Vitola. I'm just not.
And I feel like that is, excuse me, that's the thing that kills it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like if it was like a 660 or something.
Yeah.
A fatter Robusto.
Sure. But I will say this, for the Vitola, it was a good draw. It wasn't hard pressed. You know what I mean? It wasn't. It was a well produced stick. It was. I still have one more that I'm gonna smoke. and give it another round and give it another try. But if anyone has the ability to get the H99 feral flying hybrid, I would say don't pay $30 for it. But if it's 25, go for it. Give it a shot. Why not?
There's still some Lanceros of that at the shop here
Oh, really?
now, but they're $25. I just
Mhm.
haven't
Yeah.
had the gumption to try it. Maybe I'll do that this weekend.
Oh, he's got the full Kentucky Fire Cured line. So I told him, I was like, dude, those Lanceros, man, are boy. You did like them, or because I remember you gave me a handful of them, right? Or you did not like them?
I don't know. I liked that line for a while, kind of early on into my cigar
Smoke too much.
smoking. Part of that, and then over to like I came back to them after not smoking one for a long time, like a couple of years, and
Yeah.
your palate changes over time, and I just remember
sure.
being like, I used to like this. It just every now and then I get a weird hankering for one.
Yeah, I don't think it's a weekly smoke. I think it's a every other month smoke.
Sometimes I'd smoke one. I'm just like, oh my God, this is too much. Same with it's kind of in the same ballpark with the acid stuff. It's like I just want a hint of that smokiness. I don't want it to be
the only real besides the fire cured, the Kentucky one, the only flavored thing that I will do at all nowadays, like I have a Gurkha Ghost from time to time just because it's there, you know what I mean? I'd rather have that than an acid. But the Tabuk, because it's not
it's the flavor's there, it's just much more subtle.
Exactly.
I want subtle. I don't want
correct. I'm with you.
I don't want that to be the only thing I taste.
I will say this. I was gonna bring it out, but my buddy Mark, I don't know where he got it or when he got it, but he wound up giving me see if I can get the picture good on camera. Opus X Blue Society.
Oh, nice. Very fancy.
So, and I think that is the rarest of the Opus X. I think, maybe second rarest, but I'm very excited about that. I am.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
that Opus stuff is awesome. It just it's expensive.
It's really expensive. I don't even want to know what he paid for that. I saw, like a year or two ago, I think they were going for like $100 a stick. Now they're like 50-ish a stick. So I don't know if he bought these or he won them.
70 a piece.
Oh wow, yeah. But it's really fucking good. So, and then he gave me a couple Upmans, and I wound up getting a what the hell is that now? It's Cuban, and now I can't remember. It's gonna piss me off. Did I take a picture of it? Let me see. Hold on.
Monte Cristo?
No. It was I did not take a picture of it. Damn. I don't remember, but he gave me one of those too. God bless him. No, I don't remember.
Oh, okay. What's new?
What's that?
So what's new? We can shift gears before people riot because we're not talking.
I was gonna say, dude, we're like 20 minutes in and we're still talking about tobacco. Another man, I mean, that's really it on the new front was jumping back into tobacco because I have been a little out of it. Shy of smoking with you on air. That's really the only cigar action that I've been doing lately. I will say this, make sure that you always have an extra Boveda pack because sometimes packs just dry out and all of a sudden now you got a box of dry sticks. So just do that. Amazon's your friend. Snakes. Let's do snakes. I don't know if I mentioned it. One of my telescopes died.
Did it really?
Didn't make it out of winter. And I wonder if this is the one that I've had for like 5 years, and was super tiny. I don't know if I made it dehydrated. It was too dry for too long. I usually try and give it water like every other month, and I may have gone a little too long with the winter. But I gave it water going into this 2-month chill. So I don't know. I don't know, but it rolled on me. And I don't know if I mentioned or not, but I lost that really, really pretty copperhead. That baby. I lost the baby copperhead, man. It just
broadband, was it?
Yeah, it was broadband. Yeah.
Was it? Oh, that's
yeah. So this is going to be like the star of the show. This was the crazy red high contrast one, and oh man, it's never easy.
Any idea what happened with that?
Not a fucking clue, man. It literally did the classic eat the food, 3 days later died. Oh, I'm sorry, and it shed too. I waited for it to shed. I left the shed in there. I fed it. It ate. 2 days later, morte. So
I really wonder with that stuff, like how much of it actually like is congenital, like stuff that you had absolutely no control over. I feel like it's probably more prevalent than we want to give it credit for.
Like, I mean, and it could be anything. I mean, this was a neonate that was plucked from the wild and has been living in my care for 3-ish years, 2.5-ish years. It could have had a heart murmur. You know what I mean? It could have had liver problems. Like, who knows, man? Like, it took this long for it to manifest. I mean, we see it in children and humans, sadly. So I don't know. You know, I always chalk it up that it was something I did. You know what I mean? They're in my care, but at the same time, I'm not going to beat myself up too bad. You know, I just need to be mindful of, especially in wintertime.
When it's just out of the blue like that. You know, what can you do?
Yeah. So
besides take inventory of what the possibilities were of something happening, and then moving forward, doing what you can to avoid that.
Yeah. And what's crazy is the adults are in V70. The neonate that passed is in its own vision cage with like natural decor and like rocks and fake plants. And it's got the beautiful backdrop picture that I took. And I don't get it, man.
Maybe you beardy mommed it.
I mean, I may have. This is the one that it would give me crazy observations of like basking in a cactus, like in the fake succulent, rubber succulent. And like, dude, I'd never seen that before. It was so cool, man. Such cool observations with that animal. But hopefully this year I'll try and make more. You know?
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, the telescopus was so left field, man. So left field. And now I got another one. And it has not eaten since, I don't know, August. I got it in August and it has not eaten since. It has not lost a single gram of weight. I put it on the gram scale. And it just sits there basking all day long. That's all it does.
Doesn't want the gecko skin wrapped.
I tried the gecko. I tried gecko skin. I tried cordillus skin. I tried frozen thawed in gecko. I've tried frozen thawed in cordillus skin, like boiled them together kind of thing, you know, cooked them together. I tried braining, and I tried just rubbing on frozen lizard. Nothing. However, I threw in a live fuzzy. The fuzzy wound up passing away. I went up there a little while ago to like make sure everything was cool. I didn't take the cage apart, but the fuzzy's gone. So now I'm wondering if it just wanted it to be a funky death, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah. So that's something that me and Alex Schmock were talking about at Carpet Fest. We got on the talking about striped house snakes, the lineatus.
Yeah.
Because those have been very much on my radar the last couple months.
Yeah, they have.
Not realizing that he had some and that he was breeding them and that he was having a very hard time getting those babies going.
Right.
So that was something that he and I were talking about for probably a solid 45 minutes to an hour, and just like, you know, what is it that, again, what are we missing?
Yeah.
In something, there's just like, I likened it to Alterna and how I've talked about, like, tried Anolis, tried all these different things and nothing worked. But when I got Scoloporus, that was it. So it's like when we're looking at these things, like, what is it? Same with green trees. Like, you get to a point to where, you know, you've tried all the stuff that you think would work. Well, now it's like, let's start trying the stuff that we don't expect to work. Like, at this point, you got nothing to lose. Like, let's try chick down. Let's try minnows. Let's try frogs, tadpoles, like tuna juice. You know, and he said, he's like, dude, I've tried. If you can think of it, I've pretty much given it a shot with those. And he's like, if I make some more happen, I'll let you know, and maybe you can take a crack at it. But
yeah.
Then Boca Joe DeStefano, Galoob Corruption,
formerly Boca Joe.
Yeah. Forever Boca Joe.
Yes, Forever Boca Joe.
He had his show yesterday live with a gentleman that was in South Africa that was also breeding Lineatus. And so, of course, when they started talking about that, I'm like frantically typing in the comments, like, what does he do to get Lineatus going?
Nice.
And, you know, if there was any species-specific thing he was scenting with, and he said they're so small when they come out. And his thing, too, he mentioned was, like, give them a little bit of time before offering food. Like, once they hatch and stuff, he's like, don't be in a rush to get them on food. He's like, give them a little bit of, you know, give them a little bit of time before you start offering stuff. He's like, I think that's part of the issue that they have is they have food shoved in their face too soon after hatching, and that they just need a little bit more time. But he didn't have any species specific suggestions. I think he said he was using like Hemidactylus, which is everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Alec just has bad luck, but
could very well be. And I've thought about trying to find some kind of Egyptian gecko for the Telescopus. I just haven't had a chance to go to Underground's farm, because I'm sure they have something in the freezer, not to sound morbid, that I could purchase from them and give that a shot. But I didn't have to do that with the last ones. I got very lucky with the last ones. I think they were the ones I took Cordylis shed and rolled it up like a cigarette and put it in a frozen thawed fuzzy's mouth, and they just ate them. So, you know, that did not work this time, but we shall see.
Makes me wonder too, like, you know, how the rhinos after a certain period of time seem to switch over on their own, if it's a similar scenario with some of those. But
yeah, but this thing's like 2 foot.
Well, I would wonder, I mean, the Telescopus, I would sort of expect that to maybe not be the case. Similar to Boiga, like, even as adults, they're still going to get lizards if they can get lizards. Like, they're pretty equal opportunity.
Sure.
I don't think they have the ontogenetic shift that you see in stuff like chondros and rhinos. Maybe. I'm just spitballing here, but
no, I'm with you. And I think that it also could be a case of Chris Panchop taught me to cool down the animal as a false winter. I'm wondering if this snake was waiting for winter, and now that I gave it a winter, that's why it ate that dead fuzzy. If it did, I have to go look. I don't want to get my hopes up, but because I had that happen with baby pyros, baby Arizona mountain king snakes, and he's like, "Oh, dude, just put them in a different room that's cooler." I'm like, "Yeah, but not like how cool?" He goes, "It doesn't matter, like 5-10 degrees. Like put them in the living room where there's a lot of air conditioning." Yeah, it noticeably different, and I did, and they ate like wildfire. So,
like, after you had moved them in there full time, or you would put them in there for a little while and then brought them back?
I put them in there. I put them in there for like 2 weeks, and then I fed them in there, and they ate, and then I brought them back, and they kept eating. So,
there you go.
Yeah, who knows? So, yeah. Wild stuff. Wild stuff.
Any breeding plans?
Yeah, man.
Pairing up yet or putting stuff together yet?
So the Fuscus were together through the whole winter, and I just separated them last week. I fed them. They kept it down, even though my temps got all wonky, and now the temps are high again. They kept them down. I gave them small rats, which is probably too big of a meal to be coming out of brumation, but they're good size waters, and I did cuts. So anything that got a bigger prey item got cuts. And then I did not cut my Nubian cobra, and the temp dropped and it threw up. I was like, oh, damn it. But I will say this, it threw up a
mostly digested,
a metaphorical used latex glove.
Nice.
If that makes sense. Basically just a furry skin sack is what it threw up. Yeah, it threw that up. So it digested at least 90% of the prey item, but
the important parts,
yeah. So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so yeah, definitely fuscus. And then I'm gonna do Transpecos copperheads. I'm gonna try and pair those light ones, see what happens with them. And then I'm gonna keep a good eye on them and start feeding them up really well. But I think I'm gonna go early. I think I should be doing this in the end of June, early July. I'm gonna try and do it in May because the temps are rising. I'm gonna put silver subox together, and I'm gonna put wild rose pass subox together. And this is stressful times, man. Stressful times. So I was gonna do Lee Abbott Oketees. And I think I'm going to give them another year. I think they're just too small. And I think I could breed them, but I don't know if I should. You know, should I send you a picture and we take a poll?
Yeah.
I'm going to do that right now. So this picture that I'm sending Smitty is from a couple weeks ago. What the hell is this? I don't need this. Let me close all these windows. Continue. What is this? Why does Facebook Messenger want a pin?
Meta just asked me if I was a robot, which is hilarious because it's like your whole platform is plagued by spam. It's like,
create a pin now. Your pin lets you restore chats. I don't want to do a pin. What the fuck? Create my own pin. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's amazing. I have the same combination on my luggage.
My pin number is 123.
All right, so this is that was a huge waste of time, and now I'm going to open myself up to viruses. Great. All right, let's find Smitty's messages. There he is. Handsome boy. So this snake is the male, but the female is a year older. So the female is 4, the male is 3. The female is a year older, obviously, but it's the same exact size animal. They're literally the same exact size. Obviously, my hand for scale, and that is a rat pup that it is wrapping. Are they too small?
I don't think so.
People in the chat? Actually, it's funny. There's several people in the chat that have bred corns. So,
and how old?
The male's 3, the female is 4.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, but dude, look at. I mean, I have small hands.
I don't know. I think if you wanted to wait another year, obviously, like that's fine.
Mike says another year.
I feel like if you wanted to pair them, she would probably do fine. I don't think you're gonna have any issues. If she was that size in like 2, I'd probably be like, let's wait a little bit. But
yeah, Mike says another year. Paint Shop said another year. He says she'll lay, but it'll stunt her growth. I thought of that too. Chris Anxious says old enough for sure. Size ... Meh.
It wouldn't be a big clutch, but
yeah, let's just wait. Because I was going to do Cerastes as well, and they are way too small. The more I look at them, because like I never see them because they're like under sand, you know. And I was like, let me like compare the boy and the girl, and the boy is like, he's ready, he's good enough. The girl, no, she needs at least another year, if not 2. But it's also very deceiving because they grow so slow. And when we get imports, the imports we get are gigantic. And I've got ones that are like 5 or 6 years old now, and they look as if they're only a year or two old. And it's not from Phil's lack of feeding. I know Billy Hunt and Casey Cannon are in here somewhere listening, going, Phil doesn't feed his animals. I mean, that is pretty much true. But I did not stunt their growth. They just take forever to get massive, which is super disheartening that the imports we get that are gigantic, they're probably 10 plus years old.
Yeah, probably ancient.
Mm-hmm. So, and I'm probably going to throw Nephrosinctus Pilbara banded knobtails together just to see what happens. I gave all the geckos a year off last year, and we shall see.
You're
what
circling back.
Circling back, yes. Circling back. And then I gave my Underwoodosaurus Millie to Billy Hunt. They wound up turning out to be all hypo.
Really?
And they're all hypo. And because Billy breeds all his own feeders and he's a beautiful madman, he has made them gigantic in a good way. They're not obese at all, but they are diesel Underwoodosaurus. So they were all produced by Leland Ward, different years, different parents. So he's got a good little mix of them. And I know he's going to pair those this year. And I'm really excited for him. That's going to be.
Those are really cool.
Yeah, they're super cool, man.
I like seeing those at shows and stuff. We usually stop and take a gander.
Mm-hmm. So, and I've got in terms of the Subox, just going over Dusty's book over and over and over again, and then I don't like talking to guys like Nemo, who I got them from, in terms of like his breeding schedule and stuff, because I feel like it's a little taboo. It's a little uncouth to do that. But I did talk to Gillen. Obviously, I have a much better relationship with him. Speaking of which, I was recently on Reptile Rejects with him and Don. And if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. Reptile Rejects, latest episode, yours truly. You can hear me jibber jabber about nonsense for 2 hours. But him and Don are good guys, and Reptile Rejects, check it out. Gillen said that he pairs in July, and that's like the norm. And he says some guys go earlier in June. I think because of my temperatures, I'm going to try end of May, maybe even middle of May. It depends on how hot and how fat I can get them. Wild ropes pass for sure. Silvers are a probability. No, I'm going to try possibility. That's what I'm looking for. Possibility. The female is a proven breeder who's had 2 years off. Got her from Rob Nemo. And he just had an extra female. It was like, she's bred once before. I'm going to move her on. And I have a super duper silver male that I've been raising. He's like 4 now. And he's big enough to breed, but it's very much a python situation. She's like 5 times his size. So screw it. Full send.
Dude, it ain't going to stop him.
Yeah. For sure.
If you do silver to silver, do you just get more silvers?
So I guess it depends on. I got to consult the biblical texts, but I think it depends on the definitive genetics within. And I would hope to get, because I don't know what they are in terms of like their actual lineage history,
right?
Because Rob Nemo told me he got her as a subadult and does not know the lineage. Yeah. I would imagine I'm going to get a majority silver because it is silver to silver, but I'm also expecting to get some hets. I am. So I don't know. I got to consult the biblical texts.
But the scrolls,
the sacred scrolls of Dusty Roads. You know how sometimes you just need 2 of the same book? I got 2. I'm that guy.
There's a couple that I would be like, I want to have an extra copy in case something happens to one, and then I have a backup copy.
Well, so I will say this. I have a copy that was mine, and then Anna Maria showed some interest in it when we first started dating, and I got her a copy, and then I went full disco and became obsessed, and I stole her copy back. So, yeah. Just full transparency.
I do like how, like, that's what Trumbauer does, is he'll, like, just amass books, and then when someone's looking for a specific one, he's like, "Oh, I got an extra one of that," and like he's kind of there to help people get these things that might be hard to come by.
Well, that's pretty magnanimous of them.
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, in my mind, it was let's try and get Subox for Daytona. And I was like, well, that's stupid because I shouldn't try and rush nature. I should do it right, especially since it's my first time ever doing this species. And then I was thinking, second thoughts was, Phil, you're a moron. You're going to keep them all. So why rush?
right.
But I really do feel like because my temps are so high so fast, I'm still going to stick to the same process. So if I have babies in time for Daytona, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to keep them. So all of them. Suboc Army.
Amass them.
What about you, man? What are your? I know you were on the fence with some pairings and indecisive on a couple other things, but what are you going to do? Let's hear it.
So I put house snakes together. They've been cohab now for 2 or 3 weeks.
Sweet.
Pretty much anytime I open that tub, the male is curled up with the female. I don't know if he's actually made any headway there. I probably need to take her out and see if I can feel any sort of action, if there's anything there. But I'm probably going to separate them here soon and offer them some food. We'll see what happens, because talking to Jade and some other house snake people, they're kind of like, yeah, you just pretty much put them together whenever you want eggs and they make them happen. There's really zero effort involved in getting house snakes to breed from what I've been told. So
interesting.
We'll see how that goes. At first I wasn't sure if the male would be able to make it happen, just because he is it's a 2-year-old animal, but he's also kind of small compared to that female that I got from Keller, who's a long-term captive. I don't know how old that animal is. I'd imagine she's probably over 5, I would think.
Okay.
But put them together. He's been courting her a lot, it seems like.
What's the courting look like?
Like I said, anytime I open that tub, they're just curled up together. Like he just seems like he won't leave her alone. Like if she goes to one corner, he goes with her.
So it's more of it's definitely like a spooning thing. It's not so much the twitching and the tickling.
Yeah, it's not like actual like signs that he's trying to make it happen. It's just sort of
there's no physical interaction being witnessed, but it's highly probable.
Right, because every time I open that thing, like he's never not in contact with her, if that makes sense. So but I do need to separate him here soon. I need to offer him some food. I haven't put rhinos together yet, aside from the pair that's cohab full time. I need to get some food in them this weekend, and then I'll probably start putting one of the other females in with the bigger male that I've got from Christian Parr, which I tried last year. He tried. Nothing happened. So we'll give those a go again. And then chondros, trying to bump up their food a little bit and start putting some back together. I was keeping some together sort of off and on over the last couple months, with some interest from at least one of the males, but mostly nothing. Which, again, I don't really expect much most seasons now, because I'm like, I don't deserve to get any eggs because I'm not putting in the work to get eggs. Like,
sure.
It's just like, it is what it is. So this year I am trying to make a little bit more of an effort with some of that stuff. Phil King really wants me to pair Ladies Islands corns. I've had a couple other people ask me about them. I want to, but at the same time I don't. Jake's planning to pair his, I think, this year. He's talked about putting his pair from me together. Yeah.
So he has a pair from you that he raised up, or does he have his own line?
No, it's from me that he
Okay,
released.
okay.
Yeah,
Because I mean, you guys are clearly on the same
he got
island, you know.
he got the he got some from the very first clutch that I got from those.
Okay, cool. It's like F1 type shit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I have one of the original ones that my dad had because I gave him one because I hatched some. He's like, "Oh, I want one." I was like, "Okay, cool." He also power fed the ever loving fuck out of it, and so that thing is a sausage.
Nice.
I haven't fed it since I got it. I've had it since last year at some point. Like I took it off food pretty much immediately, and I'm like, dude, I don't know when you're gonna eat again. It's gonna be a while. I'm pretty sure it's a male. I didn't verify it, but fairly certain it's a boy. I thought about trying him with the bigger female that I caught last year. That I got eggs from, but the eggs went bad. So I may, if not him, then my old male Johnny English, who's one of the older Ladies Island corns that I have. He's getting up there in age. He was, I think, an adult when I came across him.
Mhm.
He has kind of that old snake look to him. You know, you can see there's just something about him. Like, you know what I'm talking about? You see some snakes, and you can just tell that they're just like oldish or they're getting there.
Are his eyes getting wrinkly?
No, not yet.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
I think I know. Yeah, I think I know.
They get almost like a waviness to the shell of the eye.
Oh no, he's not there yet.
Okay.
He just has like sort of. There's just something around the eyes.
Yeah. They look old.
Not that they're like sunken in necessarily, but they
weathered,
just like recessed. I don't know how to describe it.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's getting up there, so
yeah.
Maybe you'll give him one last hurrah because I don't know how much longer he'll be viable as far as breeding goes.
Yeah.
So we'll see. That female is an absolute looker. She's
nice
smoking. Because I had that trio that I caught last year. This is the female that I got from the neighbor's yard down the street that I held on to. And then the other pair that I caught on my parents' property, I ended up taking back there and letting them go because I was like, I don't need another trio of corns. Even though that male was, I'm kind of kicking myself now for releasing him. And there was a point where I let him go where I almost caught him back because I was like, I should not let him go.
Yeah.
I released both those back where I found them, but held on to that female that came from down the street because if I had released her, she would have been likely killed by a neighbor, or hit by a car, or grabbed by a cat, even though she is a decent sized corn for Ladies Island. I just, it's like, I'll hold on to her. That's, it is what it is. If I lived in a more rural area that wouldn't require me to take her a couple miles down the road to release her, I would feel better about releasing her like around my house or something. But because I'm in a residential area, it's the likelihood of her getting waffled is pretty high. So I just held on to her.
Yeah.
But Ladies Island corns are a maybe. I didn't put anything down in like cooling, like I've done in previous years where I moved stuff into the garage, like things got cold. Kind of just took everything off food, kept the room overall on the cooler side. Only ran the heat on like the cold nights, like when we got snow and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. But again, I'm not really expecting a whole lot because I didn't really do a whole lot. It is what it is. So.
Yeah.
Other than that, not doing any Conicus yet. That's probably going to be a next year thing.
Is that because of the temps or because just size?
Size. That the adult female I have needs a bit more weight to her after talking to Rob Robbins, who we've had on previously, the Conicus guru. She's a ways off. She probably could go, I think, now, but comparing like the weight of her to his females that he's breeding, she needs some more size to her. So, Mike says we need to finally settle on who has the better beard, Phil or me. Mine is
no. He means you and Sanchez.
Oh, is it? Sanchez has me beat. I don't like, this is completely untamed. The amount of gray I got coming in this fucking thing, dude. You can't really see it, but there's a bunch of white hairs all up in here. This is unkempt, needs to be trimmed.
Silver fox. And Sanchez says, whichever one of us has the most fox snakes in Splendida.
Fair enough.
Fair
He
enough.
would win.
He would win. He would win.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, as far as snakes go, that's pretty much it.
No chondros?
I'm trying. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
I'm a little behind the curve as far as timing goes. My buddy Justin Olson, who lives sort of near me in like the southern portion of the county, he's got like 2 chondro clutches on the ground right now. I think 2 more to come. So I just, frankly, last year and this year, I was just busy with Fulvius and work and all that other
Life,
stuff.
Man. Life.
Just like, do I really want to bring on baby chondros into this picture? Like,
yeah.
I know. So it's got to kind of pick and choose the battles. On top of like, if I had gotten chondros and baby rhinos, it was like, now I'm really just, and what free time I had before, I'm just completely obliterating. So I don't know. We'll see. I do feel like I need to make something happen with chondros this year or next year, because they're, I think the oldest animals in that group are like 2019s, and every year I'm like, I'm going to breed them, and then they keep getting older and older. And I'm like, by the time it actually happens, they're going to be like over a decade. And, it's just, I keep procrastinating.
Yeah. I know what that's like. I know that all too well, man.
But outside of snakes, I'm sure people are probably tired of me talking about them.
Here it comes. I was waiting for the segue.
Some spiders.
Nice.
We're gonna dip I'm not gonna dip my toe. I'm gonna go up to like maybe the knee.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not gonna fully jump in. I'm not gonna dip a toe, but I'll
just remember, you're not having like a 10 snake, 15 snake clutch. You're having like a 200, 300 spider clutch.
It won't be that many.
Okay.
So I have a pair of bluefoot baboons.
Cool.
My female has been MIA for weeks. She's in pre-molt.
Is she alive?
Yes, she is alive. I did a welfare check like 2 weeks ago, a week ago. She's just in pre-molt and looks like she's about to fucking explode. The male just molted, so I'm like hammering him with food, trying to get him a little more up to size and ready to go. But that looks like currently that's going to be the first species where things are going to line up and that I can pair. And then I have a female striata, which is the Mysore ornamental.
Yeah.
And me and Phil's friend Kara has a male that's not mature yet. Okay. That I may talk to her about getting, because she has 2 males. And I think this is just the next one she has. So I think that female is probably a molt away from being ready to go. It's tough with spiders, man. It's not like snakes where you're kind of like, the male's a little young, but I bet you can do it. It's like the male needs to be matured.
It needs to be ready.
Needs to be ready. And like the window is like, things have to line up right, because so like with my Brachypelma classy, like that's a very slow growing species. That's the Mexican pink, right?
Yeah.
I had 2 of them. One of them was a female. I knew it was a female when it was little. Like after a couple molts, I looked and it determined it's a girl. I had another one that I sent Bill Bradley a rhino rat for because his local Petco had it. And I told Bradley, I was like, you send me that classy right now, I will send you a rhino. And he did that. That one turned out to be a male. They were about the same size at the time. So the issue with that is by the time my female was big enough and old enough, like ready to go to breed, that male would probably be long gone, like old, decrepit, not viable, like on death's doorstep, more than likely. So I sent that male to our buddy Dritz at Underdark. And it sucks is like that's a species I want to breed, but the timing has to be right. Like the males have to be mature, like penultimate, like their final molt has happened. Like they're literally on that last stretch of their journey of life, which is find a girl and make more of myself. And if you don't have that sort of lined up right, then it's not going to happen. So there's a timing thing. And so right now the bluefoot baboons are the ones that are falling into that timeline. I have some other stuff that's it'll probably be like a next year thing. But Dustin Black, Mr. Phobia Farms there, he just had him a whole bunch of Venezuelan sun tigers.
Oh, nice.
That's cool. Yeah.
Very cool. What do the slings look like?
They're actually like
they have like the little tigers on the rump.
No, they're like white and black, and the legs are like striped.
Oh, that's cool.
Like banded. I won't say striped, but banded.
Like barred.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then as they grow, they turn black and orange and so
and psychotic.
I think he's already told most of us, like, hey, I'm sending you some of these, so be ready. So we'll see.
Jesus.
But I don't like, yeah, if you're dealing with a bunch of spiderlings and you're dealing with a massive sack like you would get from like a salmon pink bird eater or any of the Theraphosa, where you're talking like tons upon tons of babies, like hundreds, if not more than that. Yeah, that's a lot of work. But like from everything I've read and been told, like the Bluefoots, I think most of their sacks are typically like ballpark 50, which if you kind of let them, my plan currently, and this could very well change, is to sort of let Darwin do his thing and them sort of call off the weaker ones of the sack. Not try to save every single one of them, you know, for the sake of getting as much money out of them as I can. But like, I'd rather have stronger, less of them and stronger babies that are well established and stuff. So we'll see. But I'm not putting my slings before the sack hatches. But there's those, and then I have some other like long-term stuff. That's again may not be until next year that anything happens with those. It may not even be until 2028 that some of that stuff happens, but we'll see.
It's fine. That's good though. It's good. You got a game plan, knowing that you are going to have considerable amount of offspring and not doing everything that you physically could, you know?
Well, I mean, you also forget that I will 1000% wholesale before I post on Morph Market.
I got you.
I love wholesaling. I love how headache free it is, how simple it is. You put it all in one box. It all goes to one place. Yeah, you're making less, but the headache to me is worth that.
I get it.
Nothing against the general public, but seeing what some of our friends deal with Morph Market and the messages and stuff. And I understand it's part of the game. It's part of the dance.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, what stresses do you want to allow into your life? And that is one that I don't particularly feel the need to. So,
yeah,
just keep it simple.
I get it, man. I get it. Not to shift gears on you, but I completely forgot about a pairing that I'm hoping for this year, and that is Rhodesian girdle-tail lizards. Now, this pair has been together their entire lives since they were born. They're brother and sister clutch mates, or litter mates, I should say. But this year, I finally was able to replicate the exact seasons that I did for mom and dad originally, which was like almost 6 years ago. Mom and dad are long gone. But these two, I'm really hoping that something happens this season. But if it doesn't, oh well. But I've been literally checking the cage to see any kind of pairing or scampering or whatever, and then I put a bunch of fake foliage in there to see if like they knock it over. Because a lot of times they'll be chasing each other and like land on top of it, almost lay on it, kind of like a pillow of grass.
Mm-hmm.
And if I see that, then I know that there was some hanky panky going on, perhaps. Because they also, I feel like they don't want to copulate in the rocks just because there's no room. So every time that I've witnessed it, it's always been outside of like the rock pile,
Yeah.
like in the grass, on the dirt, in like a blank area. So far,
Pickup truck.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. In an alley, the old phone booth by the pool hall.
Turkish bathhouse.
Oh Jesus. But I have yet to see any of that. So we shall see.
Well, Sanchez asked, what's the likelihood of a male getting murked as far as tarantulas go? And that's depends on the species, but it's most definitely not zero.
Yeah.
From what I've been told with the bluefoots, they're actually usually pretty good about not. So usually pretty cooperative. Green bottle blues are kind of notorious for, like, you probably ought to have a couple males on deck because there's a very good chance that first one through the door is going to be the first one taken out. So, but it depends on the species. I don't know. Black seemed to have a pretty straightforward time with his sun tigers. So
That's good. And especially on something like the sun tigers, boys were almost as big as, if not the same size as the girls, right? It's Dustin.
just like leggier.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he actually paired his twice because he put in the male with the female, and he thought maybe he managed to make it happen, and then I think he put him in again just to make sure, like a couple days or a week later.
That's good. That's good.
So, but he got out of there, in and out twice.
Nice. Good for him. If Mike Kosicki's still in the chat, he had mentioned pyros earlier and how he's going to keep all of his if he produces any. I want to do it, but I need to get new pictures of husband and wife next to each other, so to speak. Because I still am afraid that he's too small size wise, that she's going to eat him. And everyone tells me that Pyromilana do not do that. And I just don't believe anyone. So they're definitely old enough. The boy is 4. The girl is like 6 or 7, proven breeder that I got from Keith McPeak. And I was shocked at how small she was for a proven breeder, but obviously I trust Keith. He is a master of what he does. Yeah, Mike says keeping all 4 of the 2025s that hatched last year. That's cool, man. That's cool.
Adults still cohabbed.
Nice. Excellent. Yeah, I guess send Mike a picture and see if I'm crazy or I'm being too paranoid. But if they are ready, they're going.
The king snake thing, like, I feel like the bigger concern of the cannibalism thing definitely seems to be in the Getula stuff over pretty much everything else.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, Getula. 1000%.
Like, without a doubt, it can happen with that other stuff. But I feel like from seeing people cohab Alterna and like maybe some Leonis, I know Chris had some issues with his Leonis females chomping down on the males.
Like consuming them or just biting?
Like mostly consuming, and Chris being able to catch it in time to save them. But like,
oh wow, okay.
Like Getula stuff, like for sure, I'm not cohabbing that. But like, I feel like pyros and stuff, like you got a little bit more leeway.
Yeah, man, but
there. But if there's a significant size difference, I'd probably be a little more worried about it.
And that's the thing, is there is a considerable size. He's half the size of her.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. And like I've physically witnessed it in both Floridana and California.
Yeah.
And my own animals. And like, dude, California king snakes love to just slurp each other down. Yeah. As sad as that is. And then I've also seen in some South American tricolor stuff too. I mean, this South American stuff was all neonate type stuff, but man, they eat each other almost as bad as Dumeral's boas do.
Yeah,
but they're the worst, believe it or not, in my opinion. But
yeah, I know my Andeans, like I definitely wouldn't trust them to be cohabbed full, like unsupervised. Yeah. knowing how spazzy those little bastards are.
Yeah. Yep.
And then now that I have roaches again, feeder roaches.
You do.
Sky was kind enough to hook me up with a big old. He had a bunch of discoids that he was breeding for the monitors and stuff, and he was like, I was like, "Oh, Sky, can I get some adults to start a colony?" And he basically took the small critter keeper I had and like filled it. I was like, "Here you go." So I got a big group of discoids going with some dubia in the mix as well. I just put dubia and discoids together in the same bin. I did some Googling, and they said, yeah, they're not going to like hybridize or anything. They're not going to mess with each other either. So they'll do that. And then Dritz is shipping me some spiders that I won over the weekend on Palm Street.
What is Palm Street?
So that is a live auction site.
Interesting.
Like app. A lot of plant people are using it. A lot of gecko people are using it. And a lot of invert people are using it.
Interesting.
And literally, it's like these live streams where they do these auctions, but they're not like long, like drawn out auctions. We're talking like literally like 30 seconds.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's like you're live, you're bidding on this stuff. You know, if someone bids, it adds a couple more seconds to the clock, but it diminishes each time. So like the more bids keep having, the shorter the amount of time gets. And it is dangerous because I've gotten some really good deals on some stuff.
Interesting.
It's fun.
Sanchez says it's the devil.
Yeah, it's the devil. It's dude.
Well, like, is it kind of like Whatnot, where guys go live or Instagram where they do like collectible cards or coins, or
closer to Whatnot than anything else? But you can do, I guess, like living organisms.
Oh wow. And it's live video, right? And they're like holding. They're like, this is the blue Galapagos tortoise. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. A lot of the times they'll have like two, so they'll have like one camera that shows you like the animal itself, and then they'll have another camera of like the table or like the people, like QVC. How they'll have the people talking. And you see the hand model there with It's cool. Apparently, I don't know how Whatnot works as far as like being able to sign up, but with Palm Street, it's a little more exclusive. Like you kind of have to know somebody that's already got a Palm Street account to sell to be able to join. And then there's kind of a process involved as far as getting set up. Palm Street people are angry because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
What's funny is when he said it's the devil, Phil, in my mind I went, foosball's the devil. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
But it's a cool platform. It's fun. Get some really good deals on stuff. And but I asked Dritz to send me a group of red runner roaches to also add to that, because dubia and discoids are not quick to reproduce.
Yeah, now aren't red runners
bury themselves? I don't think so.
I would check and make sure.
They're much more active. They're not going to burrow like dubia do when you put them in something, and they don't become a roommate. I've had a couple dubia just become roommates with some of the spiders because the spiders did not care about them whatsoever, which is cool. Like they're not going to hurt anything. But I'm tired of crickets from PetSmart because my PetSmart goes through them so fast that you have to get there like on Tuesdays in the afternoon when they get them in, and get them before they disappear, because by Wednesday or Thursday they're gone. And it just, I have mealworms and stuff that I'm buried in right now, but I really don't feed those too much just because nothing seems to really, unless they're really hungry, they really don't seem to want to fuck with them. And I have the peanut beetles for like the tiny stuff, but I just need to get some runners going, because those, like, the movement is good. They're not going to bury themselves. They're, you get them set up and nice and warm, and they'll start reproducing like crazy. So
nice.
Let me give them a shot. I think I tried, I don't know if it was lobster roaches or red runners, but I had one of the two a long time ago, and I just remember the tank got really gross really quick. But I think it's because I didn't really have good ventilation in it. But
that'll happen.
I don't know. We'll see. So,
and did anyone tell you the secret weapon of citrus?
I keep hearing that lately. Like, that's been a weird thing. People are like, if you do citrus, they breed. And I'm like, I always just gave mine oranges and stuff anyways.
Yeah.
because it was simple, and like my next door neighbors have 3 or 4 orange trees that hang over our fence and just drop oranges constantly. So it's not like I have to go buy oranges and they're organic. So
Yeah, man. Dude, apparently makes them go like fucking wildfire.
yeah, I don't know. It's not necessarily so like dubia and stuff are fine. They just like once they get going and reproducing on like a regular basis, they're good. It's just it takes a while to get to that point for them to start popping out
Yeah.
oots and stuff. So and discoids, I honestly I've never messed with discoids. This is my first time, but it sounds like they're really no different. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, man. I dabbled a little bit with discoids, and dude, with the geckos, it was just too tough, man. They just go right in the sand and just gone forever. And I hate doing those ceramic feeder bowls. And then all I do is have a gecko that's just smacking its face in the ceramic. You know what I mean? It's yeah. So
Yeah. I also find it weird that like dubia are illegal, but discoids are not.
yeah, I think it's because they're already established.
Oh, you think that's what it is? Because I was like looking at these, I'm like, this is the same damn roach except a little bigger. It's like,
yeah.
if these things got loose, they'd do just as well as dubia would.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the discoids are the ones I can have, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're already established in like small pockets, and that's why they don't care.
Oh.
So yeah. It's also like why nobody gives a shit about isopods in Florida, because half the ones in the pet trade are already established naturally in Florida. Yeah. So that always made me super paranoid, which why I never really got into them, was because we throw our substrate away, and all I'm doing is guaranteed distributing zygotes of invasive isopods. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the ones when I did have tropical stuff, I made sure I got ones from Florida. I had like one of the local kids who like goes out catching anoles.
I remember you being weird about like with the substrate, and you're like, I got powder blues or something in here.
Yeah,
like, just toss it, buddy. And you're like, I don't want to release powder.
Yeah, well, and then I found out that there's populations of them in South Florida already, and I was like, I don't want to be that guy. It's my fault that now
there's rubber duckies now in my backyard.
There's rubber duckies plaguing the ecosystem.
I have some dairy cows, I think is what they're called. No, Panda Kings that
Panda
Gage
Kings
sent me, and I need to see how they're even doing, because I set some up, and then because I was propagating some moss for some tarantula cages and stuff, and I used the moss, but the isopods remained. So yeah, I'm right there with you, Mike. He said, I don't even know why Florida cares about invasive stuff at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
can it get any worse?
I mean, yes. The answer is yes, it could get worse, but at the same time, they're not gonna fix, like, there are bigger problems that are fixable that are not getting fixed than some 8-year-old kid keeping a pet iguana.
Sanchez said poor whites are committing a hostile takeover around Phil's pea spot in his backyard.
Jesus Christ. Oh God. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Well, that's like, like with the iguana thing, it's like, why did they wait so long to actually like decide to do something? And at that point, like, why even waste the time in doing it?
Because it's
than people were complaining, like, okay, let's placate.
It's placating. It's also watch the birdie. Okay. Watch the birdie while we do this other fucked up thing that no one can talk about. And then at the same time, it's look what we're doing. Give us more money. Look what we're doing.
Low-hanging fruit.
We're saving the environment.
Productivity.
One raped manatee at a time.
Yeah. It's the same with like the ornamentals and like those Sri Lankan species being ESA'd. It's like y'all are a couple decades behind the curve as far as like listing this stuff at this point. Like no one's smuggling ornamentals out of Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Like the species are mostly established here. There's like 2 or 3 species of Poecilotheria maybe that aren't in the hobby.
Yeah.
But it's like, why why does it matter now? Like, I think they did all that in, I think, 2016 or 17 maybe. And I was like, y'all are like literally 2 decades behind. Like, this should have been an issue a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it does nothing. Like, it's not protecting native tarantulas in Sri Lanka. Like, it's literally just making it a pain in the ass to move captive bred established animals between collections.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
To comment on Mike's thing about iguanas, they were introduced on multiple different avenues, quote unquote, all of which accidental, in as early as the 1950s. Most of the expansion was in the 80s from drug smuggling. That's just it. They would import a wooden crate filled to the brim with wild green iguanas from God knows where, Central America, and at the bottom of the box was 20 iguanas with a kilo of coke duct taped to them. And they just let them all go
inside of them.
Yeah, because if customs opens the box and 1,000 loose iguanas screaming around in there, they're gonna be like, holy crap, and close the box real quick. They used to do the same thing with panel boats. They would have panel boats with big giant bales of marijuana in the walls of the boat, and then they would get a permit for nuisance alligator movement and transportation, and they would throw like 10 alligators loose in this boat and drive it up the Miami Canal. And if Fish and Wildlife or the sheriff's office pulled the boat over, they just got a boat full of alligators with documents. Nobody's going to take those alligators out to check the panels of the boat for marijuana in the early 80s. No one gives a shit, so they just let them go. Now the wild hog thing that Sanchez comments, he says, I bet it's money. They can get people to pay to hunt them, but the numbers never lower like wild hogs. That is 1,000% correct in my opinion. Florida law, this is very interesting. And again, I am not a judge, cop, or lawyer, so please take this with grains of salt anecdotally. Florida law says that there is no bag limit or restrictions on hunting wild hogs or pigs or feral pigs, whatever you want to call it, right? And yes, Mike, Crockett would have. However, it's broken up into zones, and the wildlife management areas or the state hunting grounds do have their own individual restrictions on wild hog.
For what purpose?
Because, for example, a local WMA to me, which is called JW Corbett, which I think is like 68,000 acres.
Sounds like a lawyer's office.
It's one of the closest, if not the closest, large-scale jungle, cypress, swamp, wilderness habitats for hunting next to an urban environment, West Palm Beach. So there is a ton of bougie rich dudes who fly down in the winter and they want to go hunting, but they want to hunt pigs because it's easy, and they go on public land because it's cheap. Meanwhile, there is a restriction that it can only be hunt wild hogs in these certain window of time, and it must have a shoulder height of 14 inches. Only in the WMA. Outside the WMA, you can hit them with your Buick for all they care.
That's weird.
No, it's not. It's because out-of-state hunting licenses are twice, if not 3 times, that of an in-state hunting license. So if you're from,
pretty sure here and in Georgia, they're like, if you see one, if you don't kill it, we're gonna give you a ticket. Like,
oh no! So if you
don't shoot it and get rid of it, you're going to jail.
And don't quote me on these numbers, guys. Please don't quote me on these numbers. But if you get a hunting license as a Florida resident, it's like $15. Yeah. A hunting license as a non-Florida resident is like $100. So all these guys from New York and Massachusetts and Maryland, and Virginia, and they all fly down. They have their their getaway homes in West Palm, and then they go out and they pay an outfitter or whatever, and they go out into the wildlife management areas, and they have to make sure it has a shoulder height of 14 inches in season. Hilarious.
Pretty sure there's this old like air base my dad goes and hunts with some of his buddies that he used to work with before he retired, and like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure you can pay to get in a helicopter and just fly and take down hogs.
It's actually illegal in Florida, believe it or not. It's illegal to hunt from an aircraft
There's a lot of people that pay big bucks and be like, "Give me an AR and put me in the bird."
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Dude, do you have any idea how much money South Florida would make if they opened up aerial hunting for hogs? Oh my Lanta.
Apparently not enough to not any more than those non-resident.
Yeah, well, the problem is that Mike says not in Texas. In Texas they have wide expanses of land. In Florida we do not. So even if you own a parcel of land that's say 100,000 acres, if you're in a helicopter and you shoot your rifle in the wrong direction, it will very easily, most likely, end up in a urban or suburban environment. That's why.
I feel like in Texas, you almost have to have a damn helicopter to be able to go hunt that shit.
For sure.
Hmm.
But we digress. Speaking of being out in the wilderness. Yeah. Speaking of WMAs, take it away, Smitty.
Herping plans for 2026. Do you have anything lined up? Do you have anything on the docket? I don't.
Yes,
stuff's
and
starting to
yes,
move,
no,
man.
and yes, yeah. I have not herped legitimately I think since Daytona, man.
Really?
I mean, maybe 1 or 2 days I went out road cruising with Anna Maria, but I am starting off 2026 with a bang, because this coming Sunday I will be taking the Wymans out into the wilderness of Florida to do some light road cruising in the Everglades. The Wyman family is in town, and Doc and his wonderful children will be accompanying me into the wilderness. I think it's a great way to bring in the herping season, as they say.
Yeah. Do you notice stuff starts moving like early March down there, or are you seeing?
No, it's all year round.
Yeah,
it's all year round. Last year, not like this winter that we just had or are currently having in some parts of the country. I mean, the winter time from 24 to 25, Anna Maria and I went to JW Corbett, that one management area I told you about, and it was like 60 degrees, and we're like, we're not going to see anything, but you know what, let's just drive through the jungle and roll the windows down, maybe we'll see some stars, open the sunroof, or moonroof I should say. And I found my first ever red belly swamp snake road cruise on the road, crawling across the road, and a gigantic scarlet snake, probably the largest scarlet snake I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And it was like 62 degrees out. So they are always moving. I found water snakes in like juveniles and neonates in water in December, but you won't find them on a road per se.
Right.
I would like to think that March, April, you really start to see stuff on the road, and then May, June, you're in full swing. Where I'm taking the Wymans is going to be true Everglades wetland area. So we're just going to be road cruising. We're basically going to be going out into some of the STA areas where the levee is the highest elevation. So if you time your night right, you'll just get snake after snake after snake after snake. Right. And which is also cool because depending on how wet it is out there, it's kind of dry now, but depending on how wet it is, a lot of the mammals will come up on the levee too. So you do see a lot of deer, you might see bears, definitely smaller mammals, possum, raccoon, otters, that kind of thing. But I enjoy this time of year for the birds, because you'll start to see the cattle egrets and the eastern egrets start to roost and get the full swing of springtime come into fruition. A lot of alligators out. So hopefully it'll be a good trip. I haven't been where we're going in at least a year, just because I've been mostly heading north and this is going to be going south. But I'm excited, man. It's gonna be a good time. I have tentative plans to go back to the Sky Islands with Rob and Nipper. There are no real plans set as of just yet, but most likely September-ish time. Got to iron that out. I'm hoping to try and go back to Greece, but I don't know with everything that's been popping off right now.
Yeah, it's kind of a
Yeah,
particularly chaotic corner of the world.
yeah, exactly. So, um, her island is a fair bit away from Cyprus, but still a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
Those have been following the news. And then I need to do some day trips to the Keys because there's a bunch of key species that are endemic to the Keys that I've never seen that are relatively easy if you kind of know where you're going.
How far of a drive is that to like Key West for you?
Key West is a solid 4 hours because of
Wow, really?
traffic. Yeah, honestly, man, if it wasn't 35-mile-an-hour road with everyone and their mother trying to go on vacation, it would be a 2-hour drive.
That makes sense.
It's the amount of humans slowing me down. And it is now been proposed that the Florida reef gecko is going to go on the endangered species list. And I have yet to see one in the wild. So I actually have friends that know exactly where to go. And I'm tired of looking at Google Earth and I need to just go do it. So that's going to happen in the near future. Get some shots of them in the wild. Like I said, a couple Keys trips. And then I definitely want to try and go north. And if I can get up to the Panhandle, even for like a long weekend, and just kind of see what's up that way, because there's no like.
I need to talk to Harry about an ANF trip because that was a freaking blast. I mean, we didn't really see a whole lot, but man, it's such a cool place, and it was such a good time going there and hanging out. And me and Jake definitely want to go back, and I think we've sort of put the bug in Harry's ear about making a trip down there again. And I fell in love with that place when we went. It just
I've never been, man. I need to see it. So yep. But I dates are booked for Daytona. Daytona's happening. I did not make the mistake I did last year, and I'm doing Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I know we talked to Clay and some other people about everyone staying through Monday. I unfortunately cannot do that.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing that either. I know Jake and Crystal are, but
yeah, if people can do it, it's worth it. So
I'd take that Monday off, but I think we're still leaving Sunday.
Oh no, I gotta work.
Yeah.
So
that recovery day is a game changer though, man. Like I didn't do that. I did it last year for the first time, and I was like, why have I not been doing this every year? Because I don't know. There's just something about like, okay, we got to drive. Like we're leaving Daytona at 2:00 on Sunday. It's a 4-hour drive home, so I'm getting home at 6, and I'm trying to catch up on stuff, hang out with the girls, like go to bed, wake up, and I got to wake up, get to work, and it just everything feels rushed, and up until like Tuesday night, it just feels like there's just a lot going on.
Well,
having that day to take my time and decompress a little bit, and
for sure,
social battery recharged, and
for sure, and like especially if you bring home animals, like you're lucky that your animal room is at your house where your family is. So like when I bring animals home from Daytona, we usually just go to Anna Maria's house for now because it's farther north than my house. And what I'll do is I'll just leave everything in deli cups for another day.
Yeah.
In the morning, I'll drive south to my house, put them in the bathroom, quarantine, whatever, for the day, still in those same deli cups, go to work the Monday, get off from work, and then try and set some of them up before I do a podcast with you. Or whatever we want to doing.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pretty busy year so far for Gabe. I think he's already up to like 16 species.
Wow. I was going to ask, what are your plans are you guys going to do some more group stuff, or do you have anything that you want to do solo, or what?
So I think we're planning a trip up to Gabe's neck of the woods in April. I think we're going to do a weekend up there.
Okay.
like yesterday here, it was like upper 70s, low 80s for the high.
Wow.
And really nice outside. So I was like, if it's like this coming weekend, I told Jake, I was like, dude, we got to get out to Kusawachi. Like, it's got to happen. Which is one of the newer WMAs that opened up that he and I hit a pretty good bit last year. And I don't think he can this weekend, but I think I'm going to see if Justin Olson wants to go hit it up Saturday morning, and see what we can find. We have like one or two spots that have a lot of gopher tortoises and a lot of burrows, so I'm really itching to get out there and see if we can find anything that's hanging out around those. Like diamondbacks are on the docket again.
Nice.
I think it was this day last year we managed to find one, and a pygmy. So I'm really itching to get back out and like, I don't know. Like I've mentioned previously, like herping by myself out of my parents' place, it kind of,
dude, herping by yourself sucks.
It doesn't really like, it's not that I dislike it. It just, I never really found much of anything. So for me, for the longest time, herping was like, why bother? It's like fishing. Like if you go out and you don't catch anything and you repeatedly go out and you don't catch anything, like you kind of just don't want to go fishing anymore. And it was kind of a similar situation for me. It was like, I'm not going to see anything. And, you know, it wasn't until I went out with Jake and started road cruising some of the spots we have out in other parts of the county. And then go into some of the WMAs and stuff, that I'm much more on board with it, much more itching. So that like when Jake hits me up and he's like, dude, this weekend we got to go. I'm like, clearing my schedule. Let's do it. You know, whether we find something or not, I still just love being out there.
Yeah, of course.
What was a big kind of adjustment, especially with the WMAs, because you can't have hooks. It's illegal.
Really?
At least in South Carolina. I don't know about anywhere else. Can't carry snake hooks.
Huh.
Which for the first like one or two times was very weird to just be walking around a WMA with no tools. Like you got your hands.
Yeah, that's shitty.
It's actually not that bad. Believe it or not, I'm actually coming to kind of like it a lot.
Okay.
I don't know. It just, you would think that it would be rough, like that it would, you know, it would suck, but it's really not that bad. It takes some getting used to. Sometimes like if I'm out there and I'm wanting to flip some bark or something, I'll grab a stick and flip it. I'm not big on flipping stuff with my hands, but
yeah,
it's not that bad. But my other plan is to get some decent crepe myrtle branches and sort of make walking sticks
yeah,
that we can use to roll logs and flip some stuff. So
smart.
Yeah.
I can't imagine hiking WMAs with no, like we've done it in Arizona and stuff, and like because it's like a national park or something and they have the restriction, but like dude, in Florida, I'm bringing snake hooks, and even if it's just a stump ripper just to flip stuff. But Florida's big thing is, do you have it in a container in your backpack? You know?
Right.
Yeah. So
well, like, that's Jake at one point went out to this WMA before it had opened. He didn't realize that they hadn't opened yet, but the gate was open. So he went back there, you know, and he had a hook, and the guy told him, you know, the one of the DNR guys happened to come across him, and so he said, hey, you know, just so you know, those hooks, you know, you can't have those out here, which Jake didn't know, but apparently it's pretty big.
Show me the statute.
Unfortunately,
show me the statute, bro.
Because so many people do go out and take shit off WMAs illegally, which we do not when we go out there. You know, anything like I'm sure the first thing they hear when they find people with that kind of stuff, especially out in like Jasper County where corns are such a, you know, hot commodity and stuff for how many decades, like the first thing people tell them are like, oh, we're not keeping anything. It's like, you got a hook, you got bags, you got a backpack bags. Like, I get it. You know, they don't know you. I'm not going to take personal offense when they're, you know, assuming that you're doing something you're not, because I'm sure 9 times out of 10 people are.
Yeah.
But like, my question is like, okay, well, if I just have like a walking stick that happens to have a hook shape Like if I get a crepe myrtle branch and it has a hook shape towards the end of it on one of the ends, like what's the differentiating? Like where's the threshold for what's considered a tool for capture versus just a
Well,
walking stick? You know?
and I feel like it's also like when we're walking around and we got snake hooks, like if I'm in the WMA, we don't have bags. We don't have anything to keep snakes in. So like if they're like, you guys keeping snakes, no man, like I give you permission, search my shit. Like there's no, you know what I mean? I've also seen where guys had walking sticks that were like a cane, and they have like the hook is the head of the handle of the cane, and you just flip it around when you want to lift up a carpet or a piece of tin or something, you know?
Yeah.
And you're just walking with a cane. Like I got a bum knee, man. I got a cane, you know?
Yeah.
But don't have a backpack full of snake bags.
Yeah. I don't know. I got some gators for Christmas, so when we're walking around all that thick grass and stuff, I feel a little bit less paranoid about getting nailed by something. Every time we're walking around that stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna take a step and see that there's like a 4 or 5 foot diamondback just chilling right there, and it's just gonna get me right above where my boot cuts off. So I got these gators now, and Gabe was like, "Well, you get diamondbacks aren't really likely to bite," and I'm like, "I'm not willing to find out. I don't. Nah, that grass is thick, dude. Like waist high, So God knows how many we've probably walked past already, and just didn't know it.
I'm sure.
So I'm anxious to break those out. So maybe this weekend will be the weekend that happens. But
cool.
Definitely more road cruising. That me and Jake have that secret spot. That's super productive. Like freaking Copperhead City, dude. You go there at the right time of year. Like we're seeing like 10 copperheads a night, easy.
Wow.
Sometimes more.
Wow.
Found a really big cottonmouth last time we went out there. We went out, actually, Sky was in town a couple weeks ago, and we went out. It was still when it was cold and rainy, and we went looking for some salamanders and didn't see anything. But yeah, definitely want to hit up some of the WMAs that we've gone to a couple times. There's one called Donnelly that's got some just absolutely monster gators in it. So really? I want to go back just to see that, because I've never seen wild gators that big. Like
that's
there was
cool,
one or two of them. I was just absolutely blown away at how huge that thing was. It was just unbelievable. But Kusawachi is probably my favorite. I think it's Jake's favorite at this point now too. It's also massive. Want to get down to A&F. Want to get back up to Gabe's neck of the woods and Francis Marion National. I don't know. I mean, just looking forward to getting out more.
Yeah.
I sort of, one of my New Year's resolutions this year was to make an effort to take more time off work. Because every year I accrue a ton of time off and I just never take it. I don't use it. So this year I'm like, I'm going to try to use more of it, and it's there. I'm not going to get anything from it if I don't use it, so might as well.
True. One thing I want to do, and I think we would have a lot of fun doing it, is we meet up somewhere like, I don't know, North Florida, something like that, just to make it easy, and we find a river walk, where the stream is shallow enough to walk, whether it be a certain time of the year, and not necessarily go turtling, kind of like the Panhandle boys do, where like they're snorkeling and pulling stuff out. But like, I would love to walk the streams and walk the creeks and rivers and take photos and, waist deep, knee deep, whatever it is, and see turtles and shorebirds and whatever else. And I think that's a cool ecosystem that I'm not normally engulfed in. We have some cypress swamps by me. And in wintertime, because you can't go in summer because you just die from mosquitoes. But in winter, we'll go and we'll see sirens and different types of Nerodia and baby gators. And it's really cool at night. It's just like wading through, and like the water's crystal clear, but wading through like shin deep water seeing all this nocturnal forest stuff in the water. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I don't know. Like I said, it's enjoyable when you go out and actually see stuff. Because for the longest time, I never really found anything. So I was like, herping was not never, but it got to a point to where I just didn't really enjoy it, and I didn't really get the hype. Because again, like you go out and you don't see anything repeatedly after spending summer after summer sweating your ass off out in the woods. It's kind of discouraging, but going out with your boys, even on the weekends that we've gone out and really didn't find much of anything, like it's still just a good time. It's nice to get out, be out in nature at the very least.
Yeah, and I agree.
Just
and you know what bothered me with the herping solo was it was the same thing with game hunting solo. Like I would be out by myself hiking, and I would see a pretty plant or take a couple shots of a bird or a frog or something, and there's no one to experience it. Like there's no one to share it with.
Yeah.
And like it was meaningful to me and it was wonderful to me, and I have no regrets of doing it, but you almost had that feeling like you want to turn around and be like, hey, look, there's no one there. That's sad.
Yeah.
And like maybe that's just me. I'm sure other people share my sentiment, but you know, I still, I mean, now I have Anna Maria in my life, and like she's always game to go road cruising and whatnot. But like there was a time when I was single and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go road cruising. I'm driving. I'm like, there's nothing here, and I'm by myself, and all I'm doing is wasting gas. So, yeah.
The I don't mind going out and like looking around by myself. It's one of those things where I'm doing it and then I'm asking myself if I'm incredibly happy or incredibly lonely, because it kind of feels like both. Like I enjoy being by myself, but then I'm like, I'm by myself for the same reasons. You find something cool. Like God forbid I come across a coral snake and I'm by myself. Like, well, I don't know, because like when I was in Tennessee and found all those timbers, I was alone.
Hey man, you may have never found them if you were with friends. Who knows?
Yeah.
I
want to get back up there too.
Yeah.
Sometime in the warmer months. Every time I've gone, well, not every time, but most of the time that I've gone up there, it's been in fall, like in November, where nothing's moving. So when we were going and everything was still green and it was still warmish, and I was like, I got to get out. I got to find rattlesnakes. Like that was my target. Got to find some buzztails, and managed to make it happen.
You found them.
I found them.
You found them, man.
Now that I know where that spot is again, like I would like to go back, even if I can make it like a once a year thing, just to go see if that group is still there. Or, I was very hesitant to tell my uncle who lives on that property like where they were, because I was worried that he would tell somebody that's hunting on his property and then they go and fuck with that whole den.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm not, he's very cool about it. He's like, I'm not going to tell anybody where it's at. I'm just going to show people this video so that they know like this kind of stuff's out here. He's out in the middle of fucking nowhere. If you get bit by a big timber, dude, out there, like you're in fucking trouble. Like it's serious.
Yeah.
If I had been bit where I was bit, I'd be having to get airlifted. Like there's no way I'm getting back to the house, back to the road.
And that's honestly if you have the time to do that.
Yeah.
Sad to say. So
yeah. So that's another reason why I do like going out in groups. Like, especially like if it's just me and Jake, that's cool. But it's a little more comforting when there's a group of us, to where if something happens, someone's within earshot. Which I mean, even when Jake and I are out, we're not very far from one another usually. And we started carrying radios this year. I made more of a point to make sure we had radios, because I remember whether it was Francis Marion National or at A&F, we'd get separated by decent margins, and it was always like we're trying to call each other on our phones. But if our phones are on silent or on vibrate, like mine is all the time, like I never have my ringer on ever. Even my vibrates, it's usually on silent. I'm not hearing that thing ringing, and I'm not carrying my phone in my hand to see when someone's calling. So this year or last year, I went on Amazon and bought some radios for cheap. Nothing, super high tech or crazy, just something
FRS.
Yeah. And I gave Jake a set and I have a set. And so it was just one of those things where it's like, this would be way easier than trying to scream for each other when we're trying to find the other person. Let's make it easy. So I'm gonna bust those bad boys out this year too. And
yeah, man. After West Texas with you is when I bought my Garmin GPS communication device, and because at first I was like, oh, I'll get a sat phone and I'll have the fucking calling card, the call card plan, whatever. I was like, that's too much. And Garmin makes satellite communication devices that, it's text message and tracking and hike. It tracks you while you're hiking if you want, and all that amazingness. And it's the size of a little Nokia brick phone. So I got that. And whenever we go out, I always, before we leave the car, the parking lot, whatever, I fire that thing up. I send a test ping, get that satellite. And like, even if I turn the thing off, I know that I've got that. And then I bring GMRS radio or FRS radio, whatever you want to got, whatever you got. And everyone make sure they're all on channel 13 or, the 458.24 or whatever it is. So.
Yeah, that's something I kept meaning to do the last couple of times we've gone out, was to turn on like my Strava app, which is made for like runners and walkers, and tracks like where you go and how far you've gone and stuff. Especially the last time Jake and I went out, because we went down into this really low swamp area. And it was down like a pretty serious hill, and completely got turned around in there. Like, we could not figure out where we came in at. Like, there was a trail, but we couldn't fucking find it. And I think it was a case of like, we had walked past it one direction. I told Jake, no, it's the other way. Jake said, no, it's further up. And so we just ended up going further up, and then we passed some stuff that we didn't recognize, and we're like, wait, it must have been back that way. And so then we walked back that way, and it just turned we ended up just cutting through all the brush and shit and going up this like damn near vertical fucking grade.
Just bushwhacking.
Yeah, but it was like, if I had my Strava app on, I could look at where we came in and like trace our steps and go back, And
well, so, I mean, only if you have cell service.
Yeah, which I don't think that's been an issue anywhere we've gone, not having service or access to GPS or anything like that. So.
Yeah. And on X, in the comments, I use On X. Absolutely. On X is fantastic app.
Is that an app?
Yeah, it's an app. It's a hunter's app. It's like $30 a year for your state. And then they have packages if you want to do other states. But I like On X specifically for, and it works without service. You can download your maps. But I like On X because it tells me who the landowners is. So if I come to a fence, and it's just like a cattle fence or a snow fence, I can pull up On X and I can see where I'm at, providing I have cell service at that time. And I can see, okay, this fence is still in the WMA. I'm good. Or no, that's Farmer Bob's property. I better not cross it because I don't want to get shot.
Mm-hmm. I think I remember you talking about that.
Yeah.
At one point. Yeah. We need to look into that. Which, I mean, fortunately, that's been the only time that we've really been turned around, and it's been an issue where Jake and I were, after 30 or 45 minutes of walking back and forth, kind of getting a little concerned, like we fucked up. What he ended up doing, I think, was pulling up Google Maps and looking for the little parking area that we had the car and saying like, okay, we just need to walk that direction.
Yeah.
We know we are where we are in relation to it, but it was still just like, how the fuck did we manage to get down here and not?
Hey man, I always tell the story of there's WMA in Central Florida in the Kissimmee area called Three Lakes. Absolutely gorgeous country, quintessential backwoods Florida country. Okay, the WMA is so large that the Florida Turnpike cuts it in half and goes straight up the middle of it. There is several driving underpasses and then wildlife underpasses, so like deer and critters can go and drive your vehicle from one, so you don't have to cross the turnpike, but there was a guy who was, I don't know if he was bow hunting or what, but he was hunting game in there, and that park is a quota hunt, so it's a lottery, so only you have to apply for the quota. If you make it, you can hunt. If you don't make it, sucks to suck, better luck next year. This guy, he was in the quota hunt, and a torrential downpour thunderstorm came in and he got turned around and he was lost in there for 3 days because he just kept going in circles in perpetual thunderstorms. And all I could think of was, if the guy had a freaking compass, he could literally walk east or west of the turnpike, and boom, there's the highway. You know what I mean? But it just goes to show you that in a wildlife management area, granted, it's very large. It's like 160,000 acres or something. It's huge. But in an area like that, that guy got lost for 3 days because of a thunderstorm. Like, that's wild, man. And Smitty and I have been in way more remote areas. You know?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, Smitty and I have literally been in proverbial the middle of nowhere. So,
like, might as well have been on the fucking moon.
Legit. So,
and that kind of stuff, man, especially after Texas and stuff, it made me definitely think, like,
it's eye-opening.
Okay, we're in these large expansive areas that, you know, maybe only one of us is actually familiar with.
Yeah.
If shit goes sideways, like, we at least got to be thinking about what to do if that's the case. Like, someone gets bit. That's the main thing that I come to think of when we're on these trips and there's a group of us, especially if it's with dudes that I don't really know. Is like, okay, well, where's it's wise to kind of know where the nearest hospital is.
Yeah.
Even not necessarily in the case of a bite, but in case of like a medical emergency.
Yeah, dude. You know how many people break their ankle or break their leg hiking, and then like gotta get out?
Yeah.
With a broken leg.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever go and herp like a WMA by myself. You know, smaller parcels or something, that's one thing, but like to go out to something like ANF or Francis Marion, you know, by yourself, to me is just, it's no good can come of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's great until it's not, and it's, you get to a point to where you're in a really bad situation and it's just you. Like, I think about that Bruce Means bite where he was on that kayak. He kayaked to this small barrier island, take pictures of Eastern Diamondbacks, or maybe not take pictures, but do something with a study that he was doing with them. And he got nailed by one. He's by himself, had to fucking kayak back to his car.
Dude, that's wild,
after getting nailed by a diamondback.
Dude, and that's why you get snakes named after you.
That's
right.
It's insane.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. My Garmin GPS has an SOS button. So basically, you turn the device on as if you're going to text someone or look at the map, and there's a little bump on the side of the device, and you pop that bump open, and there's an SOS button. You cram that sucker in, and it automatically sends SOS signal to their dispatch, and they will find you. They will track you down and find you. Obviously, you're probably going to have to pay a certain fee for that.
Yeah.
But like, let's say you and I were in that ravine in West Texas and something happened, as long as someone can get to clear skies, we could have pushed that button. But here's the thing. It's only good if everyone knows how to use it, which is why it's crucial that, I mean, you and I really never did it, but it's crucial now to have some kind of safety briefing. Like, this is how the radios work. This is how the GPS works, the SOS button, whatever. This is the route we're going to be taking. This is what the map looks like. You know what I mean? Like, things like that. And I feel like that is also very crucial. Even if you're just going into your local WMA with a couple buddies from work or something, you know?
Yeah, and Mike, that's something I've had to learn repeatedly over the past couple of years, probably since Texas, is bring some damn water.
Yeah.
I don't know why I struggle with that so much, and wearing pants instead of shorts.
I'll argue that, man. I wear shorts a lot. I mean, you can't wear them on the East Coast with the bugs and everything, but like in the desert, dude, as long as you're not like walking through cactus and sagebrush, shorts can be very helpful.
Yeah. But I think the whole be prepared thing is also understanding what you're about to go do.
Yeah.
Because the whole lost mine thing, like,
oh yeah,
I had no idea that that's what we were like. That's what was gonna. I thought we were just going up a small hill. Like we were just gonna go walk. Like when that first stop we made, like just gonna go walk around a little bit. No big deal. I didn't bring any water with me like an idiot. But halfway up that fucking mountain, I was like, "Fuck, this was a bad idea." I think I had to steal some of yours.
Yeah.
It's just it's stuff like that you got to think of, like, and especially too, like another element to it is like if you're diabetic, like people we know,
for sure.
Me,
that's it. Yeah.
One of the things I keep meaning to, I want to talk to Leslie Boyer or someone about it is like, how does diabetes affect snake bite? Like, it has to have some sort of effect, I would imagine.
I don't know.
But like what happens? What issues are you to expect if you have diabetes versus not and you get bit by something?
Yeah.
I'm not like taking insulin diabetic, but I can definitely, it affects me sometimes, not all the time, but I feel it. And keeping that in mind, like keep some granola bars or something on hand, because couple that with not drinking water, it's bad stuff can happen if you're
some people like me. Some people think I'm nuts, but on a long hike, especially in the desert, I will 1000% bring a giant Slim Jim, because not only is it protein, but it's a shitload of sodium,
salt. Yeah.
So even if you have multiple liters or a gallon of water on you, if you're still sweating your ass off and you're losing all that salt, you can literally take a big bite off of a big Slim Jim and just pack it in your lip like dip, like chewing tobacco, and just let that salt just permeate. And that will literally, instead of having quote unquote electrolyte beverages or these amino acid powders, like that's all great and stuff, but like push comes to shove, man,
that mechanically separated chicken comes in clutch.
Yeah, faux show, bro. Faux show. Just don't get the Tabasco one, because then you'll be wanting to drink water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chris Andrew says, I'm a long pants, long sleeves, poison ivy kills me, and less area for skeeters and thwarting some briars. No, I 1000%, I'm long pants on the East Coast, man. I am. And like a lot of the desert hikes I do is long pants too. But like when we're going uphill and it's a definitive hiking trail and it's not necessary, it's like subalpine, higher than cactus, lower than snow, I'll probably wear some shorts. you know so
well, I mean, when I wore shorts and we go to the WMAs and they just did like burns and stuff semi recently, like there's still these, not really briars, but like this, knee high sort of brush that's mostly sticks.
Yeah, stickers.
And like it took me like 3 or 4 trips to these WMAs and shorts to realize that I need to start wearing fucking pants, because I would get home and my legs would just be
tore up
to the point to where Katie's like, what were you doing? Like, what was going on? Did you get in a fight with like a fucking cat? And I'm like, no, I'm just, and you're covered in ash and soot and
yeah.
So now I wear pants even if it's stupid hot out.
Yeah, and you can get lightweight ripstop, that doesn't, the briars won't stick to it, and it breathes, it repels some water, rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Rock and roll.
I think it'll be a good year. I think this year, like, and I mean, it's purely a hunch, but I feel like when we get more serious winters that involve us getting snow, I feel like the herping season following that is usually more productive.
I could see that.
I don't know what it is. I just get this feeling that we do better when we get like really serious winters for South Carolina, not for like Vermont.
Yeah.
But for down here, when we get snow, that happening twice, 2 years in a row is a pretty big deal, because it historically never snows here. I just think that to trigger something, man, like stuff gets a really, truly deep cold. as compared to previous years where, Christmas it's in the 70s and January it's shorts weather and just kind of like the most mildest of winters. Past 2 years we've had some pretty serious winter weather and actually very cold temperatures, like freezing, below freezing. I think it makes things come out in the spring stronger, but
yeah, I could totally see that, man.
Yeah, just a hunch.
I could totally see that.
But I think we meant to do it this year and we didn't, but like I think next year someone had told Jake something about going out to some of these WMAs on these January days where it's sunny but in like the mid 50s.
Okay.
And you having a pretty good shot of seeing Diamondbacks basking out of burrows and stuff.
Okay.
And I think we kept talking about doing it and it just never happened for whatever reason.
Speaking of that, not to shift gears on you, but did you ever figure out the whole endoscope thing and like legality of it? And
I didn't know. I didn't look into that.
Okay.
I can't imagine it would look good.
Yeah.
I'd imagine it would probably be an issue, mostly from, I would think, maybe like a biosecurity kind of standpoint, if that makes sense. Like you're going from one burrow to the next across different WMAs and stuff. What kind of things are you introducing that you can't see?
Yeah.
Who knows? That's again just a hunch.
Sure.
But I'd imagine if you had that and like Fish and Game saw it and we're like, what are you doing with that? It's kind of be like, well, I was just looking at burrows. It's like, why though? It's just kind of hard to justify, I think, in a way that makes sense other than like, I was just curious.
Well, I mean, that's where like you take pictures, I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're not like a biologist studying this stuff and you're literally just looking down these holes just for the hell of it. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
I guess.
If it was like you were studying something, that would make more sense. But that thing was also a pain in the ass, though. I still have it somewhere, but like I could not. You can't it's too stiff and too long to be able to maneuver it where you need to.
It's meant for a drywall and drainage pipe. Yeah, it's not meant for a 4-foot burrow or whatever.
On paper, it was a great idea, and maybe maybe I just need to look at another option that isn't 20 feet long.
Yeah,
because I was like, oh, that'll 20 feet's not going to be too much. It's going to be perfect. The more the better. No.
Yeah.
Because the longer it gets, the harder it is to control and move where you need to move it.
That's what she said. And
then like your picture ends up upside down and like you're trying to figure out which way you need to go. But because it's upside down, everything's inverted. And so then it doesn't.
I get it.
Didn't work out as well as I thought it would. So I need to maybe investigate in some other options. Something I also was thinking about getting this year, and I need to shop around a little more, was like one of those like a body cam, but not like GoPro. Like something smaller. I think Jake had mentioned wanting to look into some because I was thinking about it'd be cool to get some footage like when we're walking around and we do see some of this stuff to be able to get video of.
Have you thought about just doing meta glasses?
Those are expensive as fuck.
I mean, they have the cheap one that's not prescription. It's like $300.
I don't know. I briefly looked on Amazon at some of the options there.
I got multiple coworkers that own them, and it's pretty fucking cool, man. It's freaky and scary to me as someone who doesn't have them and own them and constantly feels like you're being recorded.
What's like the battery life on them though?
I mean, long. I guess these guys have like the case you put them in, like a glasses case, is the charger. Yeah. So
I don't know. That's what I need to research and sort of look into, is like if we're out walking around for 4 hours, like can I keep it on that whole time? And
no, you talk to it and you're like, glasses, record, and it
I just mean like
on.
a regular like smaller body cam.
Oh yeah,
like action cameras, but not a GoPro, because GoPros are cool and all, but and me and Jake have one of those around here somewhere too that we went in on together years ago to take herping and just never.
Well, I mean, I've got a GoPro, but I stopped using it because my cell phone is infinitely better.
Yeah.
I have like I think I have like a Hero 5 or something. I mean, I know that's old technology, but at the time, the iPhone was a better video recorder than the GoPro. I just couldn't mount the cell phone on my car, So
Yeah, but I mean, also having to carry like extra batteries, and the battery life on those seemed to get worse and worse the longer you had it and used it. So I don't know.
I know those Meta glasses too. I guess you set it for how long you want it to record for. So like I know like one of my coworkers, when he's doing car stuff, he says like, glasses record and it's only for 3 minutes. So if he doesn't tell it to stop, it'll automatically stop after 3 minutes. Just because otherwise it'll just keep going and use up all his memory and shit.
Well, I think about how the Herper dudes on Instagram and stuff are recording theirs, and I think they just use GoPros and they just keep them running the entire time.
Oh, really?
But I don't. With the technology changing as much as it has, I kind of wonder if that is what they're doing now, or if they found some other option that just works better. Be it the glasses or something similar. So
well, like when I had my GoPro and I put it on, I used to suction cup it to the hood of my car, or to the front hood right in front of the driver, like where my eyes would be, and I had the app on the phone. So like if I was going to start to cruise this one road, I didn't turn the thing on until I got to that section of road, and then I opened my phone app and pressed record on my phone, and it did it on the camera. So, but yes,
maybe we just get a dash cam, because I think those dash cams are meant to like stay on and record for long periods of time.
Yeah, but what, for the car, for road cruising, or for like when you're interacting with the animal?
On your persons, like when I'm out in the fields and stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
I just said there just has to be some better way to do it aside from like, oh, we just came across, a diamondback or like a pygmy or something. It's like, well, let me stop and turn this thing on so it's recording. Like, I want to be able to just have it running so that whenever we do come across that stuff, it's like, we have it.
Yeah.
Again, my research on that has been pretty minimal, so I need to do some more digging.
Yeah. Well, I'm on the fence about Meta glasses, specifically for herping and stuff and outdoorsy shit. And I feel like the price has been dropping because more people are getting involved and it's getting better and cheaper or whatever. So I probably will visit that in summertime, maybe.
Surely they also make something that if you already wear glasses, you can just attach it.
Well, I don't know, because the Metas, they're built, all the electronics are built into the arms. Yeah.
But I'm saying maybe they've made something that attaches to existing glasses that it connects to an app with, Bluetooth or something.
Maybe. Who knows, man?
For me to double up on glasses, look like an idiot walking around out there.
Yeah. Well, though you as a glasses wearer would have to get prescription lenses.
Yeah, I'm not.
I would get non-prescription and just wear contacts, because I wear contacts every day. So I'm wearing it right now.
Can't touch my eyeball, man.
You gotta go with that shit, man.
I can't do it. Scared.
You're not like touching the color part. You're just touching the white.
I know it doesn't. It's still putting something near my eyeball.
Yeah, but you rub your eye in the morning when you wake up.
Not the same.
Okay.
My eyes are closed when I do that.
Okay.
It's right up there with the ebook thing. Okay, the audio book.
Oh, all right.
I have my reasons.
Say no more.
But I think it's time.
Yes, sir.
Well, as always, this episode is brought to you by blackboxcages.com. Check them out. Racks, cages, you need it, they got them. Shop around. Choose pickup at checkout. Save even more because you're not having to ship it. Shipping's expensive no matter who you go through.
Yep.
Save.
Yeah. Especially nowadays.
Damn straight. So shop around, get you a cage, get you a rack, all that good stuff. Fulvius apparel, herping gear for herping season, hats, shirts, hoodies, I guess.
Are you going, sorry to interrupt you, but are you going to do a Fulvius apparel herping line, i.e., wicking long sleeve shirts of some kind, or the new trend is rugby shirts. I know everyone and their mother's loving rugby shirts right now. Something,
Shirts.
yeah.
The fuck's a rugby shirt?
It's like those short
Like a
sleeve.
polo?
It's a short sleeve polo, but the shoulders and arms are like a thicker material on top, but the bottom is all mesh and open. That's like the new trend. I don't know for her, but just in general, guys are loving rugby shirts, especially with like fitness and paramilitary activities. But no, I definitely feel like Fulvia should maybe dabble into like
I've
the Herper
contemplated it.
line.
Yeah, I've thought about it. Up until recently, it wasn't really an option, just as far as the way the printing process works and stuff. But I have a workaround with that now. So,
Okay.
I've done them before. I did like one hooded long sleeve dry like poly shirt, and it went to Chains, went to Brandon Valentine. So if that's something that enough people want, like I can most definitely look into adding those as options. That's not something I've gotten many requests for, but I know it's something that I'm sure people would like. I personally hate all poly. I don't like the dry fit stuff. I don't like the feel of it. I feel like it doesn't really wick anything. I feel like it just traps it and turns it into like a skin suit. So I don't know, but if you're listening to this, whether you're watching it live or if you're listening after the fact, and it is something that you are interested in, please message me and tell me that you would like me to add it, because I can most definitely do that. So.
Yeah, I'm envisioning a long sleeve blend with a built-in hood that's like tan in color, black logo, whatever. Throw the hood on, baseball hat, whatever, covers your neck and ears from the sun, desert apparel. Anyway, just a thought.
Yeah, and I may even get one for myself and give it a shot this year and see how I like it outdoors. The handful of times that I've worn them, which has not been many, I'm just not a fan of the feel of it.
I get it, bro.
Maybe it'll be different if I'm outside walking around and actually like moving and stuff, but
I have a couple shirts that fit this vibe and they're fat guy approved. So I will send them to you and you can take a gander. The companies and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please let me know. Fulvius Apparel. FulviusApparel.com. Message me on Instagram or Facebook, be it the Palmetto Coast page or me if you're friends with me on Facebook, or Fulvius. Just let me know, because if that's something people want, then I will most definitely take the time to make it options and put it up there. So, Mason says they'd be sweet for herping. So
yeah, that's exactly it. A sun shirt. That's right.
Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. I do work all the time, but yeah, we'll see. Make them happen. Cold-blooded caffeine, best coffee around. Sticks and Stogies blend. Get you a bag. Many bags available, whether it's ours or the wide selection that Trey offers. Use the code SMOKE at checkout. Get a little bit of discount. We get something. They get something. Rainforest gets something. I think Thursday we're doing Arachnids this week, and we were supposed to do it last week. I think Phil King was stupid sick. He got really gnarly food poisoning.
Really?
Dude, he's been fucking down for the count for the last week plus. Like, damn. I think today he said was the first day he had been to work and not vomited. So,
that sucks.
It fucked him up. So that's why that didn't happen. Fulvius G-string noted. Thank you, Sanchez. Yeah, I thought about getting some socks, like some Don't Be a Hemipene socks made. Maybe doing some of those. I feel like those would be popular. I don't know if there's any people that are sock collectors like I am. Completely irrelevant to Phil's food poisoning, but either way, Arachnids, I think this week we'll see. But we will see everybody later. Thank you.
Bye.